So I'm going to throw on a video that 3M has made recently to profile a lot of the different products that we do, and this one is a little more serious than the last one. The idea behind this video is 3M's got a lot of different core technologies, and there are a lot of things that we can bring into the fold for what you guys do to help you guys diversify the services that you offer. So I'll play this around 3 minutes long. To show that is we have a lot of core technologies that we draw on. I mean, even the headlight restoration, for instance, is drawn on our abrasives and polishing technologies, paint protection film, or urethane and adhesive, window films, or optical systems, renewable energy. A lot of core technologies that we can bring to the pool to help you diversify what you sell. This presentation I have, as soon as I open it, this is a presentation that we try to keep constantly evolving. So for those of you that I've seen recently at one of our open houses, some of this might be repetition. For others who I know and have worked with or have seen an open house for the first time, some of this material will be familiar. Even if you've seen some of it before, it never hurts to hear it repeated. So if there's some things today that you've already heard or that you already know real well, just bear with me. This will be about a half hour and then we'll break into hands-on pieces. I'm going to start with paint protection film. And I spent a lot of time in dealerships, and I know some of you do work for dealerships, some of you stay clear of dealerships. Some of you have a retail business that works really well, and it's just not conducive for going into a dealership with it. So bear in mind while I walk through some of this dealership stuff, I'm still going to try to tie it to the retail business and opportunities that we see in retail. But for those of you who work with the finance office, This is information that's so important to know, and it has to do with what goes on in a finance office. Because whether or not you guys get a call to install a product like paint protection film has to do with whether you get a call from the service manager or the finance manager at the dealership. But you don't meet the customer. You're not actually in there with the ability to sell your services and sell your product and make them aware of what you do. Instead, you get the order or you don't, and it has to do with how you present yourself in the dealership, and again, you don't meet the customer. So what goes on in that finance office when you're not there? And what are the opportunities that we can draw from that? How can that get us starting to think about different opportunities with that dealership? If someone's in the finance office, they're either leasing, buying, or financing. Odds are they're financing. It's going to happen more often. When someone's financing a deal, there are 5 lines of information, 5 lines of data that get exchanged between the finance office and the bank. That's it. The person doesn't go down to the bank, present their case and why they think they should make payments. There's 5 lines of data, and the bank's going to say, based on that, here's the money we're giving or we're not giving. Line 1, and again, these you can talk about line 1 to line 5 with the finance manager, and they're going to know what you're talking about. I was in a mini dealership where I mentioned line 1, and he said, how do you know what that means? So I mean, it's something that they know. Line 1 is the cost of the vehicle plus anything that the dealership has added to it that can't be canceled, so a hard add. If they've done something on the showroom floor and you've charged them for it, that can't be canceled. That's been activated already. It's on the car. It's on the addendum. So something that's been added to the car and can't be canceled. The cost of the vehicle, it's line 1. Line 2 is what's the trade-in value of the vehicle that the customer's bringing in plus their down payment. In other words, line 2 is what's the customer bringing to the table. By the way, I'll talk to a lot of finance managers and say, you start selling paint protection film at appraisal. The best demo car for paint protection film is the trade-in vehicle. You want to show them what can happen to a car that doesn't have paint protection film? Look at the car they're bringing back to the dealership. It's already got rock chips. It's one thing to put film on the car and say, this is what it does. And they're going to say, well, how do I know? I don't actually have a rock chip yet. Look at their trade-in car. Paint protection film, you start selling at appraisal. Line 3 is simply line 1 minus line 2. So how much does that person need to borrow in order to drive off the lot with that car? Line 4 is where we play for the most part. Line 4 is anything that can be added to the vehicle that can be canceled. In other words, a soft add. This is what the finance manager spends their time selling. Do you want gap insurance? Do you want extended vehicle service contracts? Or do you want paint protection film? And this is where you guys come in. For those of you who install paint protection film, this is the point where they say, hey, here's different packages that we offer. We do the bumper, hood, fenders, mirrors. All those things are on line 4 because the customer hasn't agreed to them yet. They could say no, they could say yes. You're not going to find out unless it makes it to line 5. Line 5 is simply line 3 plus line 4. Line 5 is the amount of money the finance office is going to the bank to borrow. I'll run you through an example so this makes sense, and then I'll get into why I think this is all relevant to what we do. Bear with me. If you can see these numbers at the bottom, sorry, it's a bit of an eye chart at the back. Suppose the vehicle is worth $40,000, and there have been $2,000 worth of hard adds already added to the addendum. So line 1 is $42,000. So the bank, and those 5 lines of data, the only 5 lines of data they're going to see. Line 1, $42,000. The trade-in value of the vehicle plus the down payment that the customer is bringing is worth another $20,000. So line 2, $20,000. Line 3, simply line 1 minus line 2. So in this case, line 3 is $22,000. Now suppose in the finance office, the finance manager has sold another $2,000 worth of add-ons that can be canceled. Customer that said, yeah, I'll take them. Yeah, I like that paint protection film. Yeah, I'll take window film. Yeah, I'll take gap and vehicle service contract. Suppose that adds up to $2,000. So that'd be line 4. Line 5 then, that amount of money the finance office goes to the bank to borrow is $24,000. Suppose the bank comes back and says, we've reviewed the customer's credit history. We'll give them $23,000, the best we can do. At that point, the finance manager, I don't know the last time any of you have bought a car recently, sometimes the first question a finance manager asks is, how much more could you bring if you had to? How much more money do you have if you need to? It's terrible, right? Anyway. The answer should be nothing. Right? This is it. I'm telling you how much I can bring. You're going to say yes, then he's going to try to sell you more things. But if he comes back and says, look, we went for $24,000, we can get you $23,000. Can you bring more money to the table? No, I don't have more. Okay, great. We have to cut $1,000 off. Where do you think it gets cut? It's on the soft adds. It's on the things that have not been activated on that vehicle yet, the things that can be canceled. And if the finance manager is more motivated to sell something other than the services that you provide, you're off. You'll never know how close you came to a sale and lost it because you weren't sitting there. You didn't know. Was there an opportunity for you to at least get some film on that car where now you're not going to get any because the customer couldn't get $1,000, it came out of what you offered. There's a few things I think we can draw from this, and I'll focus on dealerships, but I think that there are some opportunities in a retail setting as well. Door edge guard, the smallest amount of paint protection film that you can put on a car. For those of you that are into detailing primarily or window tint, even on the retail side, throw 4 strips of door edge guard on the car. It'll take you minutes of time. It'll cost you dollars of material. If the customer doesn't want to, take it off. But at the very least, you got some material on that car. It could be a talking point. So it's like, hey, what's that? Oh, it's paint protection film. It protects the paint. It's going to protect your door edge every time you open and close your door. Oh, really? That's cool. Okay, well, great. Let me tell you more about it. It's actually designed for the leading edge, the leading part of the vehicle, the high impact parts of the vehicle. Now at least you're talking about paint protection film. If you started with, look, I can do a premium package and it'll cost you $8.99. Oh, I don't have $8.99. Now that guy drives his car away with no paint protection film. This is, door edge guard is a way to get some film on the car instead of nothing. In the dealership, it's a preload opportunity. If you say to a finance manager, or more likely a GSM or a GM in the dealership, I've got a low-risk line 1 ad opportunity for you, that's something that resonates with them. Put 4 door edge guard on a car, add it to the addendum for $99, $199, if the finance manager gives it away, it's still an opportunity for you to get a little bit of film on a lot more cars. It took me a while personally to get my head around this, because I thought, we're going to go to our most talented installers and ask them to put more door edge guard on cars? Like, it doesn't make sense. You guys have invested a lot into how well you install, particularly on larger applications. We're going to go to door edge guard. Think about selling less expensive packages so that you can sell more film. Wear and tear pieces. This is another good example. This you can give a tagline like, I'm going to protect this vehicle from you, the vehicle owner. We've always focused in paint protection film on how we can protect the car from other cars, from the road. But how will protecting the vehicle from the person that just bought it? I don't see door cups on here, but that's a perfect example. The jewelry, the scratching. I don't know if you guys have seen really bad scratched door cups. Door edge guard, for all the times the doors get open and closed. Trunk ledge, for all the things that get dragged over the trunk ledge. That's usually just a flat rectangular piece, easy to install. But it gives you a couple things. One, it gives you a lower ticket item to take into a dealership if you're having trouble getting to that dealership. Maybe they're not willing to sell the bigger packages. Why wouldn't you go in there and sell a smaller package? Or for your customers. This could be a package that you offer them, a wear and tear package. Instead of always going for that bigger application, why not get a little bit of film on a lot more cars? This is something we really believe in. And in our digital design software, we now have a wear and tear package for every make and model that we put in there. On the agenda somewhere is a digital designs workshop that Travis and I are going to be doing this afternoon. And I really encourage you to check it out if you're not using digital designs today. If you are, come anyway. I mean, Travis, I'll be the first to admit, knows the software a lot better than I do. But I have worked with it. I know it works well, but I'm also here to take your feedback. But my point on this, give some consideration to wear and tear packages. Again, we've always shied away from it because you guys can do more advanced packages. Because you guys could make more money off larger packages, but isn't there still an opportunity to sell a smaller package like this one? This is an example of a menu. I know that Mike makes these available to all you guys. These are menus that, I don't think he designed this one specifically, but Travis has got some great menus depending on the dealership that you do work for. This is a menu that works really well out east. And Mike, you lived in New York City, so you understand why a city package is just front and rear bumper. Parallel parking that people do, they're hitting other cars gently. I'm not showing this because I think you should have a highway package and a city package. The reason I'm showing this is I think there's a lot of merit to having packages. Make it a little easier for your customer to decide what they want instead of what I've seen some people do, which is offer a la carte protection. Say, look, here's every part of the car that we can put paint protection film on. Now here's a checklist, check the ones that you want. This is not a new technology, paint protection film, but it's still new to a lot of people. It's still not something that everybody knows about. Help them figure out what they want. And help them make a few more decisions for them instead of just saying, here's an a la carte menu, tell me what you want, I'll put it on there, and I'll sort it for you when I'm done. offer them 3 packages. I would suggest a wear and tear. Package number 2, hood fenders, mirrors. Call that a standard package. You're protecting the painted surfaces. And then package number 3, a premium package, you need to do the bumper as well. You give people an option. But again, with the door edge guard, I just think it's such an opportunity to throw some film on that car, regardless of what it's in your shop for. I'm going to change gears, literally. I'm going to go from automotive products to jams.